Hello, everybody. My name is Tucker, and welcome back to our Russian Fishing for Spin Fishing series. Today, we are out here on Volkov. Between episodes, I did two things. I bought the original Crank 7006. That's been doing pretty well here. Balsa minnows also do well here, but we're not able to make those. And then I also bought a 5-day boat ticket, and I bought the Class A boat just because that makes the most sense for me. So we're out here. We're going to be fishing here between the islands. I want to get started and then we can kind of cover how we're going to do that. I've got a 17-meter clip on here. I do not have a leader currently on this line, which is not the best, but we couldn't afford the materials to build a leader. So we're just going to have to go with it as it is. So not ideal by any stretch of the imagination there. We'll see how things go. But I did buy an 11-kilo leader. I thought about putting that on there, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on it and see what happens today. I do have the Vico 8G on rod 2 here, and it'll bring in some fish. We'll see if the new original Crank 7006 with no leader works. I've never tried this with no leader. I actually thought we could afford, or I actually thought there were bigger fluorocarbon leaders in the store than there were. So that made it a little bit difficult. It is mid-afternoon. It's about 3 o'clock on New Year's Eve. This will go up pretty much right at New Year's for me. So happy New Year's, everyone, for those watching. Today was a very nice day. Just got done with a long walking of the dog. And then we also, that's a salmon. That's a nice ladoga salmon. I will take that on this rod. Just got done with a nice dog walk. And it was so nice we even ran over to get a drink from Quick Trip, the local gas station here, and the dog got to stick his head out the window the whole drive back, so he was one happy puppy. So I like to go between the islands here. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can do a true hourglass type pattern. I like to do just straight north, south. So come down this side, go over, come up, or go down, over, up, and just kind of do a box. Or you can do kind of an hourglass figure 8 type setup here. You will get ladoga salmons, you will get asp, and you will get pike on the original Crank 7 or balsa minnow. So you got to be a little bit careful. That's why having a big leader is a good thing. So there's an asp. The ladoga salmon are worth quite a bit, and they get quite big. I've caught a 12-kilo one as my biggest, and that was 71 silver for that one fish. And it looks like we did hook something without a leader. The downside to not having a leader is your lure and your line are much more visible to the fish. So may scare off, or really the line is more visible to the fish, so it may scare off some fish. Little pike. I think the Dodger cranks have also done pretty decent here recently too. The same ones that we would use over at Quarry. I don't have one on me because I lost it. I do actually technically have 2 in my sent items or received items, but don't really want to use those. I don't want equipment sent to me. I know we got premium right now. That's because we were doing the New Year's gifts. We got 7 days of premium if we want it, whenever it makes sense. Right now, I don't think it does. Good chance we get to 22 today. I just connected the dots on. It'll be close. Depends on how many salmons we catch. Another small pike. Let me guess, another perch. Looks like a small, tiny pike. Yep. Looks like it's going to be a pike day. I like to try and be as close to the shore here on this side as I can. Usually the last third of this island is where I've hooked my big salmons in the past. Again, we're between the two islands here. You can take a ferry. That's actually what that icon right there is a ferry that goes between these two islands. It's free and it's instant. So, and it pops you out. You can see right there where those kind of market stall type things on the side of the castle are. That's where it pops you out at. And there is a tackle store that doesn't have quite everything. That nice Vindus. That is over at the main store. There's, I believe, either a grocery store or a hardware store. I think it's a grocery store. And a fish market stall there. Actually, I know it's a grocery store because I went over to make tea one time and forgot to buy firewood and had to go back over to the mainland to get firewood. You can go all the way up to the dam and down. It's hit or miss whether I do that. A lot of it just depends on how things are going that day. Small perch. Yeah, perch, Vindus, salmon, asp. It's going to be and pike are the main things you'll catch here. At least in this area. I have got a random burbot at night. I'm just looking through to see what else. Yeah, I think that covers it. And then random Xander, especially up by the dam up there. I think I forgot to log out or something at the end of last episode because I logged in with my hunger completely empty. I've been having to drink a lot of tea. Another nice Vindus. And again, this is the new rod and reel. So this is our caliber HSV. Unfortunately, today it's not going to be, I would consider, full capacity just because we don't have a leader on it. But hopefully we make enough money that we can afford the stuff to make our own leader. It's a very nice day in the mid 50s, maybe even 60 degrees outside. So it was a fun dog walk, was a fun truck ride. Did not expect to be able to drive home with windows rolled down in the truck. Especially if you consider, what, 10 days ago, I think it was, we were -5 for a high. Sounds like some folks are already celebrating. I think I've heard a couple of fireworks. Oh, is there a sports ball game going on right now, too? There might be a sports ball game. I'm not seeing any. Thought I heard the local football team on someone's radio when we were stopped. Yeah, there's no game today. It's tomorrow at noon. People here like to celebrate the local football team, and it's kind of our rivalry game too. So I expect fireworks all game. I can almost hear the fireworks from the stadium too, but I think I didn't see where it was. I didn't see if it was here or away. Stadium's about 7 to 10 miles away from me. A lot of times I get the flyovers over my house. It is a local game, so. $13 fish, a lot of pike. So there's a lot of risk right now. Long term, I probably will be getting another one of the same rod I've got on rod 1 and making that our tertiary rod. I do have what we had been using as our secondary rod. I was going to say built out, but I actually hadn't put it back together yet. I don't have the leader. I gotta find where that is. The feeder leader, that's not gonna work though. I need to make sure I didn't put the wrong leader on this rod. No, it's got a 10 kilo one. I run into the shore here quite a bit. That's part of why I don't like the hourglass, is if you do the hourglass, you're pretty much always turning. Because there's not a lot of room between these islands. There is the footbridge there. You can technically go under it. It's a struggle. You have to line your boat up perfectly. And with the fish on, it's almost impossible to do. But if you hug the bigger supports, you can usually get underneath. I actually had my biggest salmon. I hooked up near the dam, chased it all the way through here. It ran underneath the bridge there, and no matter what I did, I could not get through the bridge. And later on, I even tried, after I didn't have a fish on, going through every single spot. I could only get through one. And when I was driving north south, I was facing the exact back of my boat like this. I was going 10 degrees off of where I actually was supposed to because of how hard the fish had pulled me. My hitbox had just gotten so screwed up. This is more of a daytime fishing as well, nighttime. Similar to quarry, it slows way down. But with 2 HSVs, I've made 300 to 400 silver an hour here fairly easily at times. And 250 quite often. I don't know if we're going to be there today. We'll see. Small fish here. Might be a perch, might be a pike. It's perch. $50,000 experience points away from level 22. 22 unlocks Svertsky Donets River. I don't know that river all that well. I know it does have an okay spin fishing rating. I think we'll be here for a little bit. I need to look into Donets. When I was leveling up my Steam account, Donets didn't exist. I think it came in right about the time I stopped playing for a while. So I don't have a lot of experience there at all. Tiny pike. Actually just curious about something. Look at weekly US and ladoga salmons. They've mainly been elsewhere, but there's the balsamino I was talking about, which probably after we get our next bigger rod is going to be that's going to be our next goal, is to work on our I want to say lure harvesting, but I know that's not right. Lure making skill. Been dealing too much with bait harvesting on my float account. My brain was telling me to say something as well as saying no, like you shouldn't say that at the same time. This hole up here has been pretty good in the past too. A lot of times you can jig through that with spoons or wobblers and have some luck, or jigging itself. It's almost too small to be able to troll. I don't know if that's inlet for the power plant. At least I'm assuming this dam here looks like a power plant to me. Do I have a clip on that rod? I may not. I do. 17 meters is what I wanted on both of them. I just didn't remember putting a clip on it. The other lure that's worked well here recently, and I thought about putting it on, is the Snatcher S002. Let's try it on this one, since this one's not getting a whole lot. See if a different lure attracts him. And again, this one's not getting a whole lot because I don't have a leader on it right now. Enter. Small perch. Trying to keep an eye on the dam so I don't run into it and get stuck. You can go pretty much all the way up to the dam as well too. You can see those pylons. That's about as far as you can get. We're going to need to start turning now. That snatcher is a bit heavier than the other lures, so it hangs differently. I think it's bouncing off the ground a little bit right now. The other spot I've had a lot of luck in is trolling around this, and obviously the deep spot here has been good in the past. I've not seen this area be good recently, though. Recently it's been what's labeled as Mesopotamia here. Come on, fishy fish. It's not what I want. That also is not what I want. Come on, fishy fish. Still trying to figure out where the leader went for that rod. I put it on one of these by accident. The 3.2. Didn't put it on there. Maybe I was using a bigger leader and just didn't remember that. Nice Fendi. Another pike. Ah, it was a chub. I was mistaken. And I'm okay about that. Here's the pike. So 30 minutes in, 26 fish. Not the best. Could be worse though. Could be a lot worse. I did not look at the cafe, I just realized, so at night I'll probably dock up, hop the ferry, go look at the cafe, see what our options are there. Another perch. It was a marker. It was bigger than I thought it was. Turned about as perfect timing as I could there. To not hit land. Little perch. Probably next time by, I'll go dock up over there. Go sell, see if we made enough silver to be able to afford leader equipment. There we go. Nice hasp. 1.888. Spin Master. Weekly world record telestick. I don't think it's Saturday. Of course, the weekly records haven't reset yet, Tucker. About to say, I don't think the weekly records have reset, but I thought it's Sunday most of the day. I'm not gonna lie. But if we look at the Arctic chars, we're still up there. So I'm happy about that. Got knocked down a little bit, but I'm okay with that. This feels like a pike. Or perch. One of those pea fish. $34,000 away from 22. Grabbed a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup with Reese's Pieces in it, and oh, it's good. Just took a bite out of one of those while fishing. We got that small bendy that didn't matter. Another marker pike. 33,000 from 22. It's usually this area that I have a lot of luck getting salmon. I'm not really having the best equipment. I'm pretty happy with the amount of fish we've gotten today. We're 37 fish and 39 minutes in. Basically being at 1.5 rods with no leader on rod 1. This rod not using the ideal bait, and really the rod 2 not using the ideal lure either. I did think about putting the original crank 7 over on rod 2. Just didn't make sense to me. We hooked a big fish, we were done for. And honestly, we need about 100 silver, and we're probably pretty close to that, if not more. We'll see. So again, there is a grocery store, fish market, and tackle store here. Fish market wise, we do have 74, a little bit lower than I want. Let's go see if we got anything for the cafe. So we took the ferry, we're back over on the mainland. Cafe here at Volkov is this building. River mussel, zebra mussel, white bream, eyed, common, roach, rough, zander, chub. No, nothing. That's unfortunate. Don't think that's going to get us enough. Sell what we got though. Gets us up to 133. I think it was 150, 180. I don't know. Some lines for fluorocarbon. Uh, 27.7 is 143, so we're 10 short. Plus we'll need components to build the leaders. We could get this, which I'm not necessarily opposed to. In fact, I'm going to. Ooh, it's 107 for 20. Yeah, we'll do that. And then we need 20 kilo. So this won't work. We're at least here. So 22 there. So leaders, I want common leaders. I want 60 centimeters. Material, we're going to use the fluorocarbon we just bought and the heavy swivels and locks. I almost put the wrong ones on. We're going to make it. And now we at least have a fairly decent leader. I hope that helps out some. And again, for Volkov, this is the boat station. You can buy a B boat, which gets you these boats. Either one of them are Class B. They're slower, they don't turn as well. That's why I like Class A. Fish market is right there. The workshop is back here behind the New Year's Fair. Admin building, cafe, tackle shop. And then I always get this screwed up, so I have to look at it. Grocery stores on this side and hardware stores on that side. There. And then over here is the ferry that takes you back over to this area, and you can run across the footbridge here. Showed that off. You can run all the way around this island. You can run across the footbridge here and all the way around this island. And your campsite is over here on this island if you just follow this path. You'll get over to the campsite. Evidently, this is Viking Island. Here's the campsite. So, nothing surprising there. Nothing different than what we've always seen. So, we'll go get back in the boat and see what we can do. for what I was talking about getting underneath the bridge. Gotta line it up absolutely perfect. And even then, I have a lot of problems with it. Supposedly, you're supposed to be able to go through any of those bigger areas. I disagree. I've had better luck backing through. But like, there we go. You can just barely fit through that. Got it caught up on the bridge. I've had better luck with 60 centimeter leaders here than the typical 20. Nice eel by Felix. I've had this happen more often than not where I get stuck under the bridge. Good old Red Chili Peppers song. The Red Hot Chili Peppers. I'm an idiot and forgot to lock the reel. I actually hooked something. I noticed it was not hanging where I expected it to be. And then when I went to reel it in, it closed the reel. I feel like an idiot. Small-eyed. Do want to actually put the original Crank 7 on here. It is usually pretty dead until about 7 o'clock for me. So this does not surprise me. Getting some big old burbot today. 5 and 6 kilo. Probably Vendis. Small one at that. Decent asp. Yeah, it's a ladoga salmon. I'll take it. That's what we're hoping for. Just wish it was a bit bigger. I may upgrade the hooks later on that. Just obviously silver right now is something we don't have a lot of. I still also need to get new line for that rod. About 5:30 in the morning. So I think things will start picking up here shortly, hopefully. Decent pike here. 2.344, not bad. Own Little World, that's another good name. Probably the name of the day in chat so far. Come on, fishy fish. Come on, salmon. This might be a bigger salmon. Or it's a bigger asp. Bigger asp. 1.727. Nice asp, as they say. Small chub. Not gonna lie, I'm a little disappointed in the bite rate on rod 1. I figured putting the leader on would have helped a lot more than it did. Intent rod. You're supposed to get a big salmon on you right now. Usually when I whine about something's when the game decides to give me a good fish. I was muted. I was checking something on my phone for a second, caught a couple small fish, and then was also saying that I don't know if you saw, for a while there was a red X going across, or a red circle going across the screen. I was trying to turn with D and hit X instead. X cuts your line, and you can use that if you hook a big fish that you have no chance in catching. But if you size your stuff correctly, you'll break your leader at the end instead of your line, so you shouldn't lose your line anyway. You can also use that if you get a snag to cut your line instead of tearing it. Hoping the rain picks things up a little bit. I'm hoping a salmon gets on the line. And starts pulling drag any minute now. Another decent pike. Tried to put the third rod in a rod holder. There's a 10-kilo pike someone just pulled in. Glad that wasn't me. Small asp. Probably a pike. $1.9-kilo pike. Another small perch. I didn't cast that. Whoops. There's the ladoga salmon. Was hoping the rain was going to make things better, but not really. This has been one of the pikiest days for me. There we go. Yeah. Sounded better. It's the first time that rod's pulled a little bit of drag, and it's got a low friction break right now. Hopefully this is not a pike. Shouldn't have said anything. Small perch. Again, I expect that on the spinner. There we go. 2.5 kilo ladoga salmon to get us up to level 22. Bindus. Here we go. 4.134 kilo ladoga salmon. Maximum experience points received. 25,000. And obviously we're going to go over an hour today, since we're already an hour 15 minutes. Figured why not, since the first half was a little bit slow and we got a dual happy hour for probably the last time. Let's go ahead and take advantage of it. Small perch. I will say this is more fun than doing the New Year's event yesterday for 2.5 hours. And probably more profitable. Nice chub. 1 kilo chub there on the spinner. Decent perch. And a small fish. Another small perch. Got a bit lucky there that I forgot to close the reel. Looks like a small one over here. It might be a marker, just short of marker perch. Another pike. Let's try the snatcher on this rod. It may be dumb, but we'll try it. Yeah, I don't think the snatcher is going to work too well here. I think it's too shallow. Because you can see it kind of catching like it's hitting the ground regularly. That's a nice asp. Small perch. Small pike. Another small perch. No. Ooh, it's back. It's a pike. This should be a pretty good pike. Come on, pikey pike. $6.193, not bad. 8,200 XP. Nice little chub there. Tiny perch. Little perch. All right, the snatcher definitely did not work. So let's go back to the Vico. Baby perch. Vico hooks something nice right away. Actually, I think the Vico has a bigger hook than the original crank. If I remember correctly, the original crank starts with size 4 hooks. And I think I have a size 1 hook on this one. But the original crank has, I think it's actually 3 hooks on it. Could be wrong there. It may only be 2. This has the feel of a decent salmon, maybe. A decent salmon or a big asp. Hasn't been jumping around like a pike would. Typically, at least. It may be a pike. I heard it jump there for a second. If it is a pike, we're lucky we haven't already lost the lure. Because if it is a pike, it's a pretty big pike. And we have we got a decent fluorocarbon lure on, leader on, but we don't have an amazingly big one. Dang boat wouldn't go back into trolling mode after I ran it ashore. I'm gonna guess, despite the jump, this is probably not a pike. But this is why I didn't come here with only the Lacertes. I just don't think they would have had enough power. I saw it jump there, but I couldn't tell what it was. really wish my line wasn't as worn out as it is. Like, because I cannot turn up my friction brake all the way. I'm at 23 and pretty redlined. That was the smallest jump it's done. This will be the last fish of the day. That wasn't already obvious since I picked up the other rod. Watch this be. Catfish don't jump, though. I was about to say, watch this be a big cat. It's kind of staying in one place, but then I go back to jumping around earlier. That, and I don't even know if there are cats here. I think there are. Could be a Xander. Not biting as much as a Xander would, but just don't know what fish this is. I haven't gotten a good look at it when it's jumped. Even there, I saw its tail for a second, but not enough to really recognize what type of fish it was. Didn't look like a pike, though, which is good. Don't want this to be a pike. Doesn't look long enough to be a pike, basically. This might be a salmon. I think it is. 4.671 salmon, not bad. 61.1% spin fishing. And 28,000 experience points. Not a bad fish. But that is going to be the last fish of the day. $45 fish, though, not bad. So that last fish was 26.34 silver by itself. The biggest pike we got was actually the most expensive fish at 34 silver. So we ended up that 45-minute hour, yeah, about an hour trip at 160 silver. And a lot of fun fish. So a lot of good fish here. So I will take the 160 point nice silver. So appreciate everyone watching. We got enough silver to feel comfortable again. So we'll probably be back doing this again tomorrow. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll be back then, and we'll see you then. Bye bye now.